Thanks very much, George, for that welcome. Today again, it is the turn of the Ulster Unionist Party to speak after the Saturday parade, and it's, I gather, it's the 226th parade since the July events. I'm here to convey the continued support of the Ulster Unionist Party for the three lodges being free to make it home. Ligonhill True Blues, LOL 1932, Ballysillan, LOL 1891, and Earl of Erne, LOL 647, and the two bands. Your dedication, your determination, your unity and your restraint is commendable. Let's not forget who Trudell Avenue was named after. The U.U.P. West Belfast MP William Trudell, shot dead off Royal Avenue by the IRA in 1921. That was a key part of Michael Collins' offensive against the new Northern Ireland state. And for the record, far from apparently defending a cowed and frightened people, the IRA managed to kill over 90 police officers in those 3 years of troubles from 1921 to 23. On this very day, Orangemen have been commemorating the murder 26 years ago of two UDR soldiers, James Cummings and Fred Starrett, killed by an IRA bombing, again in Royal Avenue. Both soldiers, as I know, were members of the Orange Order. Article 11 of the European Convention on Human Rights states everyone has the right to freedom of peaceful assembly. That right cannot be withdrawn except in extreme circumstances such as the prevention of disorder. Such rights are not given to those popular with government, but by definition have to be upheld and defended in difficult and contested circumstances such as here, as they are by the Council of Europe today in Ukraine's Independence Square. Sadly, we know that when the Parades Commission chose to restrict the right to the freedom of assembly last July, disorder ensued rather than disorder being prevented. The year before, when the Orange Order accepted harsh restrictions imposed by the Parades Commission, it was consequently rewarded with a ban on getting home to Ligonhill. All we can hope now is that the new Commission has a higher degree of common sense than its predecessor and will eventually follow the only principle that can save us, which is working together toward agreeing to disagree. That's more realistic and more important than reconciliation. That's our freedom. We all know that Sinn Féin and its allies are not about creating a shared space in Belfast, certainly not in this part of Belfast, and definitely not a shared future that includes unionists. Human rights to them and equality are for one community only. We can change that mindset, which too many Liberals are susceptible to. On the one hand, the Lord Mayor, current Lord Mayor, admirably attends his first Remembrance Sunday event at City Hall Cenotaph, while at the same time his colleagues work to erase the pioneering history of Belfast Protestants and institute a bare walls policy in public places. And as you know, a bare walls policy is only a prelude to the introduction of Republican symbols, starting with Irish language signage, as in Fermanagh District Council Chamber, and finishing off with naming a children's play park after a mass killer of Protestants, as happened already in Newry. Sinn Féin, two voices, one purpose. The party of equality is an apartheid party, where even shops have to declare themselves Catholic or Protestant, but only one type of person can pass them by. Sinn Féin are in the business of deceit and manipulation, relying on separate development and frightened Catholics to bring home the vote. In the recent talks, my party worked long and hard to try and get a resolution of those issues that divide us. In the end, we were obliged to reject HAASS Draft 7. The American diplomat chose not to go down the path of principles, as laid out in 1996 by Senator George Mitchell. Rather, they unwisely tried to split the difference between Republican and Unionists. In so doing, they failed to accept that the issue of sovereignty has been settled in the Belfast Agreement and through the 1998 referenda. North and South agreed Northern Ireland was in the UK. That was the choice of all the people on the island. the country's flag is the Union Jack, not the tricolour.
Hear, hear!
And never forget, the South voted by a mammoth 94% to withdraw the claim on the North, showing how relaxed they really were about relations here in Northern Ireland. Not that Sinn Féin would tell you, or their electors. On the HAASS issues, what was proposed would have diminished the rights of unionists. The flag was not being returned to City Hall. And what was offered was a cultural commission rather than a law requiring the getting of a licence for putting up bunting. They rejected HAASS's draft agreement. That's the Alliance Party. That party, not that you would have noticed in the media, was the most intransigent of all the parties. They were the first rejectionists. I have to say Richard Haass noticed and noted that fact in his TV interviews, even if Naomi Long and David Irvine have since tried to wriggle around it to get their White House invitations. The Alliance Party broke consensus in the Belfast City Hall vote that took down the Union flag. Yet consensus politics is what they say they're about. They've instead become obsessed with the flag issue, captured by it, losing their bearings. Just as they will lose seats in Belfast if Unionist voters register and turn out to vote in May. In conclusion, the rewriting of history and the effective legitimisation of the IRA campaign would have continued apace under HAASS draft terms. Indeed, would have become official policy through the SDLP's insertion of yet more inquiries, this time theme-based. Collusion, whatever that word means, being the primary and first theme suggested. On parading, we did get some improvements agreed between the parties. And there's no reason why the Public Processions Act cannot be amended by the Secretary of State and at least a better set of practical arrangements put in place, ones which could be road tested this summer. There's a Northern Ireland bill in the House of Lords as we speak, which could be the vehicle for reform if Theresa Villiers and the NIO were to put their hands to the wheel. We've only a few months. Let us strive to work positively for a just and peaceful solution for the city we love, using our heads and striving for religious and civil liberty for all. And I mean all. Thank you.